Hello, welcome back to another pen talk. Thank you very much for joining me as I explore this amazing wide world of pens. And one of the things that's pretty much a necessity to enjoy your pens is a good paper. So I have this ream of paper, 500 actual pages. Sometimes you read a notebook that says sheets, which is both sides of the page by some definitions. So I've been using Kokuyo paper for a while for my letters, and I've been buying the paper that is used in their notebooks, which are really nice. Here's what they look like. And they're very affordable on Amazon. But when I saw this ream of paper, I said, this is perfect for me. Number one, it's the great size, B5. B5 is the size that I prefer for letter writing. Number two, it's plain. For notebooks, I enjoy dots or lines, so I can kind of keep my lines straight. That's the only thing that's straight that I have. So that's the cool thing. And then number three, I got 500 pages for a reasonable price from my perspective. So if you look up the listing on Amazon, they really promote the quality of their paper and the fact that their paper works well for fountain pens, no bleed through. We'll see if it has show through. This paper I think is a little thinner than what's in the notebooks, but we'll see. So we're going to open this up and we're going to lay down some ink and lay down a lot of ink and see how the paper handles it. Stay tuned. So this is the paper I've been using. Kokuyo sells it loose, so it's not in a binder. But I don't need the holes and I don't need the grid. So I like a plain paper. And it is B5 size. The other thing I noticed, and I don't know whether the camera will pick it up, camera sees different things in my eyes, but then my eyes are kind of old and deficient in some of the color frequencies. But this paper seems to be more of an off-white cream slight, and this is more of a bright white. And I prefer a bright white because I think it brings out the ink color better. Both of these papers feel very smooth. The surface on the plain paper feels just slightly rougher than the surface on the notepad paper. And the thickness seems about the same. I thought I read that the thickness on the other paper, but we'll give you those weight measurements, which is the equivalent of thickness. So this is what I use to write letters. A nice surface, and I print out the lined paper, which I put underneath of the plain paper, and then I use this plastic sheet to keep my oil from my hands off the paper, so it's a consistent writer. It's always worked well for me for many, many years. So I'm very happy with the paper. Handles all of these inks well, except for one, which I'm not surprised about. And it also does sheen very, very well. And the Diamine Jack Frost, I usually don't get sheen very much in it, even though it is a heavily sheening ink, but it works well on this paper. And all the colors of the ink really pop, which is another reason why you like the paper. So that line, Lamy Turquoise, was written with a vintage Waterman 52, and I think there's a couple ink mixes in there. I don't know, bladder filling, sometimes it's hard to clean out, so that is an anomaly. And if you look down here, I had to refill Mr. Cypress pen with jade, and you can see how it really looks nice on that paper. If we turn it over, you see no ghosting, really no bleed through except for that strange ink in the Waterman 52, but like I say, I consider that an anomaly in this group. So this is 64 GSM, the paper on the notepad with the grid on it, and the holes is 675. So they call this 0.09 millimeters thick, and the other one is 0.1 millimeters. And not a lot of difference. So overall, I'm very pleased with my purchase and my addition to my paper collection. One can't have too much paper, too much ink, too many pens, and I'm certainly the poster child for that. So Kokuyo has been around for a long time. They've been making lots of great paper, and from my experience, very, very consistent. I've probably gone through well over 100 pages of this paper, and every page has been really good, which I can't say about Cosmos Air, and obviously Tomoe River's had its challenges lately with the changes in manufacturing. So hopefully you can find a paper that you can fall in love with and really enjoy writing on, and get those letters out to all your pen pals. I'm certain they'd love to hear from you, love to see what new pens and inks you have. So share. One of the fun things about this hobby is there's so many of us that really like to share, and that really improves all of our enjoyment of the hobby. So we've reached a conclusion of this video. I hope it finds everyone safe, healthy, and happy, enjoying your pens, inks, papers, just having fun. That's what life's all about. So we've reached the end of this video. Thank you all for watching, and we will say bye.